Welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the American Tier 7 tank destroyer, the T25/2. Is it any good? Yes, it is. It's a good tank. It's very hard to do a review of this tank without comparing it to the Hellcat, which is the Tier 6 one you get before this, and I will compare it later on. But for now, let's just get into the stats. It has 850 hit points, weighs around 45 tonne, 704 horsepower, which is quite a lot, a speed limit of 56, and a tank traverse of 30 degrees. So it is quite a zippy tank. It moves around, turns well, goes up hills pretty well. It's a very good maneuverable tank. The hull armour is 76 on the front, 50 on the side, and 38 on the rear. And the turret is also 76 on the front, 25 on the side, and 25 on the rear. So it's quite good in that the turret and hull armour are identical, so that basically if your hull can take it, your turret can take it. So that's good. The sides of the turret and the tank are very weak, and there's no point talking about weak spots. Same with the rear, it's just too easy to worry about. The front, however, if you're in something with very small penetrating gun, the machine gun port here does present an opportunity. Don't shoot at the mantlet, and the hull is quite well sloped, so yeah, I would go for that. And or the turret ring around here should be pretty easy to pen as well. Now the although that said, this tank does do pretty well. This tank has very good gun depression, and so is a hill fighter, very similar to the Hellcat. This slope is great for when you're popping over hills. That becomes very sloped, and the mantlet becomes quite sloped as well when popping over hills. So it's well suited to hill fighting and popping over hills, taking shots. And I have bounced a shot off the mantlet from IS-3s, so it can, I think they've got about 175 pen or maybe a bit more, so it can do it. It may even be auto bounce just because of the good angling, but it does work well as that. You won't be bouncing a lot of shots off the front though. You can't just go out in the open and expect to bounce shots off the front. It's more sort of luck if you bounce one, or just than good management. Now the turret traverse is 18, which is of course slow, but it is a tank destroyer. It's a little bit quicker than it was on the Hellcat though. The view range is 380 meters, which is about average for a Tier 7 tank destroyer, and the signal range is 615, which is probably about average for a Tier 7 tank destroyer as well. The gun, let's get the gun up. Actually, let's compare it to the Hellcat gun, because it's very, very similar. In fact, it's virtually the same gun, which is kind of annoying when they do that, because you really want to see an improvement, and it's not an improvement. Let's compare rate of fire, for example. Rate of fire 7.5 on the Hellcat goes to 7.79 on the T25, which is a very slight improvement. It is, however, a very good rate of fire. The penetration goes from 160 to 170. So we've got 10 more mils of penetration on the top gun on the T25, which is very little more. However, 170 pen is not bad. Tier 7 6.5 is not a problem. Some Tier 8's not a problem. Some are a bit of an issue. You've got to go for weak spots. And all of the Tier 9s, except with some exceptions, you're really just aiming at weak spots. It's very hard to pen. Both guns have 240 damage, so we haven't improved on the damage, so that is a little bit weak when fighting against Tier 8s and 9s, but hey, it's the gun is rapid firing and accurate, so you can't have everything. The accuracy is actually a little bit worse than it was on a Hellcat, from 0.35 to 0.36. That is still good accuracy though, and the aim time is identical at 1.7, which is very, very good. So basically we've got exactly the same gun. There's not much other way to look at it. They're the same bloody gun. Now, let's compare the stats with the Hellcat. Let me just have a look at the vehicle details. Here we go for the Hellcat. I'll put them over here near the T25 stats. So obviously hit points have gone up because we've gone up a tier. Interestingly, the weight has doubled, so you could probably sustain or even give a ram now, where you couldn't before. And it's high speed, so if you ram something small, you'll probably do a bit of damage. Interestingly though, obviously we've got better hull armor. The hull armor there was no hull armor on the Hellcat. but the turret armor is not as good. We've got less speed, and the signal range has dropped from 750 down to 615. Admittedly, the Hellcat had exceptional signal range, but it's still dropped, and the view range has only gone up 10 meters. So we've lost a lot from the Hellcat to get to the T25, even though it's a tier higher, and it has the same gun. So you would think that I'd be reviewing this saying it's a dud, the tank's no good, it's worse than the Hellcat. But I have a better win rate, a better damage rate, a better destruction rate in this tank than I did in the Hellcat. I don't know why. I think maybe it was just that the extra speed of the Hellcat was maybe getting me into trouble. I was getting too far forward, maybe. I don't know. But this tank, from the moment I got it, I loved driving it. It's enjoyable to drive. It handles really well. It just feels really good. And it works well. It's a good package. It just works well. So I don't know why, but I like it. And I do well in it. So yeah, it's a good tank. It has identical gun depression to the Hellcat. It has minus 10 degrees of gun depression. Also has 20 degrees of elevation, which is very good. So it is a great hill fighter. Pop over the hill, take a shot, just like the Hellcat. Really good at that sort of stuff. The camouflage on this, there's another thing. The Hellcat had exceptional camouflage. The T25 does have good camouflage, but it's not great like the Hellcat was. So you've lost a bit of camouflage as well. But it's still adequate, and yeah, it's still pretty good. On this tank I use a gun rammer, binocs and camouflage net. I find that is a good combination for this tank. I don't really have much else to say about it. Let's get into some gameplay.
Time to roll out.
Okay, the map is Prokhorovka. I'm in my T25/2. It's a tier 9 game. There are 3 tier 9s on each team. The enemy has a Lorraine 42, a T34, and a tank destroyer, which I can't read the name of right now since the font is terrible. And it might even be a T28, maybe. Don't know. Anyway, I'm heading up towards the hill because I have a tank with good gun depression, so it makes sense to go up there. The idea in this tank is to pop up, take shots, and hide. It's not a tank that you want to be taking any fire in, so it doesn't have the armor to deal with people taking lots of shots at it. Now this game, I've had a lot of good games in this tank, and I've got a lot of Confederate badges with this tank. I think because the gun doesn't do a lot of damage, you tend to get a lot of Confederate badges because you damage tanks, but it's hard to destroy them because you don't have as much damage. But I included this game, even though I've got other games there's a lot more damage in them. I included this one because it's got tier 9 tanks in it.
That one didn't go through.
KV4. You see we bounced off the side of that KV4. So the 170mm of penetration, not always enough to get through.
We didn't even
Bounced again there off the side. So that's pretty much it's not really angled much, so KV4 admittedly is a pretty tough tank, but we can't penetrate it. I could have switched to premium, I suppose. I carry 3 rounds of premium. But yeah, that's why I've got this game in here, because it's got some tier 9s. There's another tier 9 Carnarvon.
penetration.
However, the Carnarvon has terrible side armor, and it has about 50mm of side armor. Might be 52 or something. I think it's 51 actually. So yeah, the Carnarvon's easy to penetrate. So sorry, yeah. So this has got a few tier 9 tanks in it. I've got plenty of games with doing lots of damage, but just mainly with a tier 7 matchup. So better that you can see what it can and can't do.
Penetration.
Ah, gee, that Carnarvon. It's just no good up close. It needs to be a sniping. Coming in here was probably not the best idea for Carnarvon. He should have hung back. I commiserate with him. I feel bad for him because it's a terrible tank to be up close in. Just the arm is just terrible. Anyway. So I haven't decided to go up the hill. I've decided there's a lot of action in the town, and Just going to keep shooting, but I'm just trying to find a better position to engage the enemy from. Still keeping an eye on the hill. SU-152, not much showing there.
Penetration.
But the gun is quite accurate. It was enough for us to get a shot in. Waiting for a reload, but he's disappeared, so I blind fire that shot. I don't know why that shot just went pretty wild. So hoping he's still there, we take another shot. And we get him. So that was a bit, well, it wasn't, I can't say luck. I aimed at him. Didn't really know if he's still there, but he was, and yeah, there you go. One thing about this map, it's hard to tell sometimes which side of the train tracks tanks are on. If they're on the other side, you can't get them, but we've got a couple of tanks over there. So we've lost our Lorraine 40T, our tier 9, and they've still got both of their tier 9s. But it's 9-3. We're getting slaughtered, so yeah, they're well in front. 9-3. So they have 6 tanks remaining. Oh no, sorry, other way around. We're slaughtering them. So they have 6 tanks left.
Penetration.
Now, watch this T-54, what he does here, very interesting. So we get a shot into his side, he now re-angles,
We didn't penetrate their armor.
and we can't get through his front armour. Even though I'm getting a green indicator there.
That one didn't go through.
So I decide to try and track him. Before he starts
Critical hit.
shooting. And even though it's a critical hit, I don't think we actually managed to track him. So you can see their T-54 frontal armour is a bit too much for our... Because he wasn't really angled to me, he was straight on, I couldn't get through.
Penetration.
T-29 hull is a different story though. So they have 4 tanks left. And we still have 11 tanks left, so... Looks like we're going to win without a problem. Don't know what I'm doing here, I might speed this up. I think I was expecting a tank to just come over the hill any second. Slide back down to single, to normal speed now. There's not much point in shooting a T-29 hull with this gun, so... I am hidden from his view. He doesn't know I'm here, so I'm waiting for a better shot. I'm hoping either this T-71 is going to pop over, I can hit him, or the T-29 is going to give us more than his hull. Like that.
Enemy armor is hit.
There you go. So this gun is accurate enough to allow you to aim. Now I pull back because I would have exposed myself because I was close to the bush. So pull back so you can't return fire, and then we come up again. He's probably more worried about that AMX there at the moment.
Enemy armor
And we get
is
another shot in
damaged.
pretty much the same spot, just below the turret into the hull. He's not aiming at me, so I'm waiting for reload. I'm just going to... So I thought I'd get a shot into the cheek of the turret there, but it ended up going to the mantlet, I think. They've still got 3 tanks left. And we have 8.
Critical
Lorraine
hit.
42, we critted him, but we didn't penetrate. He is angled, so it's a side, but it's angled.
Enemy armor is hit.
We managed to get through though. And he escapes. And they've only got 2 tanks left, so I decided it's time to chase. As you can see, quite good speed. Even in the flat here, we're still doing 49.50. I only have 1 tank remaining, which is Tiger. There it is. So I'm heading straight for it. Let's get a... Oh, someone else got the kill. End of the game. So we managed to get a Confederate game in that badge. Only just, I think. So look, we damaged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one killed, so it didn't count. Oh, the one we tracked. KV4. We must have tracked the KV4, and that was the 6th damage. So we got the Confederate badge. That was a bit lucky. But still, a good game. The screen, we came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th on experience. That was a tier 9 match, so, you know, that's alright. Yeah, not bad, not bad. What did we come on damage? Damage, we probably came about 5th as well, I think. And, okay, so we fired 21 shots, 16 of those were direct hits, and of those 16 shots, 11 penetrated. So, not too bad. We did suffer a little bit from the KV4 and some of those guys being a bit hard to pen. There weren't any really, other than the KV4 and probably the T25, there weren't any really tough tanks. There were a lot of, the tier 9s they had weren't real sort of strongly armoured tanks. So we did 2014 damage. We damaged 7, destroyed 1, which is quite good. And we also did 1300 spotting damage, assistance damage, which is really good. Oh well, I guess we tracked that KV4, which would have helped. We received 34,000 for that game, which is not bad earnings. As you can see, the ammunition is reasonably pricey. It's less than $1,000. 1,000 credits, sorry, a round, but it's 17 grand for 21 shots. So it's not cheap, but it's not expensive either. And we received a fair bit of experience for that one, 800 something, which is 13. That's not bad at all. All right, let's get on to the next game.
Let's go.
The map is Sand River, a map that is, this tank's quite well suited to this map with lots of undulations and ridges to pop over. It's a tier 7 game. Quite a lot of tier 7s in this game, and a few tier 6s, and then we've got some tier 5s as well. So quite a range of tanks in this game. Even our scouts are tier 5. He's lucky. So I'm decided to head up to the big hill, see if we can do a bit of sniping from up there. The gun is pretty accurate. I'll just speed. Oh, I won't speed this up because it's good to see the speed it goes up this hill. Because if you do this map, you play this position a lot, you know this. It's frustrating trying to get up here. You want to get up here as quick as possible to get the shots, but it's doing 14, 11 there. It's a pretty particularly tough part. So it's quite good. And our first shot's a good one. We get rid of that Lux. He ran out of Lux. And yeah, that was good. Here we go. A likely customer. And we missed by a mile the first shot. Seems to happen to me a lot. The first shot misses.
Penetration.
No problem penetrating the front of the VK there, even angled. Someone else nails him, and I can almost see the top of this IS over the ridge here. Come on guys, do something silly, pop out, let me shoot at you. I decided to see if I can get slightly more height and maybe I can get a shot on him, but he's moved. Don't know why I fired that, probably out of frustration. Ah, he's on the move. I had to fire them because the cover was getting in front of him. I probably could have waited. Come on, get a shot into him. Oh! Bugger! Missed with every shot. Oh well, some days. I promise you this is a good game, so keep watching. Alright, someone's tracked him. Now we can't miss. And he's gone. Oh, at least we got one shot into him. A little bit hard to have really big damage games in this tank because of the amount of damage the gun does is not huge. Well, I find it anyway that way. It's a little bit hard to get big damage games. But you can certainly annoy the crap out of the enemy. So we've finished with the easy sniping portion of the game. Ouch. And I decided to move in. The game's fairly even, 7-5, we're slightly ahead. Okay, see if we can get a shot on this Tiger P. He's over the other side of the sand dune. But he's not.
Enemy armor is hit.
Damn you, Rock. Now I've lost him. KV1, he didn't have many hit points left. 128. Somebody's shooting at us. I think it might be that T20 down there. Oh no, there's an IS-2 shooting at us. And he's hit us for 392. We can't take many shots like that, so we have to back away.
5-minute warning.
So when someone's shooting at you like that, or if they know where you are and they're waiting for you, it's best just to not pop up in that spot again. You pop up in that spot again and yeah, you're asking for it. So he is aiming at me, but there's no way he's going to hit me while he's moving unless it's a fluke shot.
Enemy armor is hit.
So I decided to stay out there. Now the T20 fired us and bounced. We were quite well angled towards him. It could have even been an auto bounce. Top of this guy is sticking up. I would go for his cupola and the shot goes wild. And now he's undercover again. Oh, that T20's in a spot where I can hit it though. Some payback. Oh, what? It looked like it went into me, but must have gone a bit low or something. I'm being very careful to try and expose the top portion of my tank.
Penetration. We didn't penetrate their armor.
So the IS-2 a bit tough for our gun there. He was angled, but not really well angled, and we did go for the side of his tank. A blind fire there, because I know the T20 was around there, but I don't know if I hit cover or whether I hit him or not, I don't know. So we've hit a lot of tanks. We haven't killed a lot though. We've killed 2 tanks, which is not bad.
Enemy armor is
Get another shot in. Oh, he's caught fire. Very nice. So let's see if we can sneak up on this T20 again. Oh, he's shooting someone else, so I'll pop right over.
Enemy is hit.
Nice.
3 minutes left.
Like I say, see, I'm not... Oh, someone else hit me a T-34.
Penetration.
I get this shot in before I back away. I don't even know where the T-34 is. Where the hell is he? Oh well. That's the thing, you just got to keep popping up in different spots because so many people, especially when you're annoying them like I am. The game's very even now too. It's 10-11, so the enemy have 5 tanks left and we have 4 tanks left. So they've turned the tables a little bit. We were winning earlier on. That shot doesn't quite go where I want it to and hits cover instead of the tank. Ah, someone gets the kill. It's that Stuart Mill guy caught fire before, so we finally finish him off, which is good because I think we did most of the damage to him. T20, yes, finally got the T20.
One of our gas
And this T-34-85 hits me again. And I still don't know where he is. So I'm close to death now. I've got 123 hit points left. I can't take another hit. One more hit will kill me. We have 3 tanks left. They have 2, so we've managed to turn it around again. There's that T-34.
They're knocked out.
We get him with blind fire. That's payback. Now I've got an IS-2. He's their last tank. He doesn't seem to be aware of our presence at the moment. I'm just going to blind fire. Hey, that's the game. We won. Oh, you gotta love it, don't you? Okay, so great game. We got our mastery badge and we got Top Gun and Reaper. Believe it or not, that was my first game in this tank with the Top Gun. I had just unlocked the Top Gun and that was my first game with the Top Gun. So I came out of this game thinking, wow, this Top Gun is awesome. And all it has is 10 degrees more penetration. But no, I just happened to have played a good game and had a bit of luck as well. But yeah, great looking screen. We hit a lot of tanks. We finished first on experience with 1,313 raw experience. That's awesome. Really good. And we did 3,885 damage, which is great. And that's a lot of damage for this tank because the gun does, what, 200 and something damage per shot. So 240, I think it is. So that's, yeah, really good amount of damage with a tank like that. The enemy Tiger P had a pretty good game on 2,504 kills as well, but I think we just had yeah, we had another good player. So we had our Tiger P also did very well. Oh, their Panzer IV did pretty good, although I did see somewhere in the comments, I don't think it was that, well, one of them ran out of ammo. It might have been the one on our team, maybe. Someone ran out of ammo. Alright, next screen. And we fired 29 shots with 21 direct hits, which is quite good. Quite good, very happy with that. And of those 21 hits, 18 penetrated, which is also quite good. Damage of 3,885. We received 4 hits and all 4 penetrated. So you can see you don't bounce a lot with this tank. Although I thought we did bounce someone. Obviously not. Potential damage received 950. Yeah, okay. We spotted one enemy, damaged 9, which is huge, and destroyed 6. A little bit of spotting damage. We made good money, which you'd bloody want to in a game like that. And experience, yeah, as you said, it was 1,300, and with premium, it came up to 1,900, nearly 2,000. Wow. Great game. Thank you for watching my review of the T25/2. A very enjoyable tank. If you would like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. And if you liked this video, please right now give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Have fun.